Hey everybody, welcome to Zenny 62 live at 9:41 Pacific, 12:41 midnight. Kevin Durant called it bullshit. If it happens, it would certainly raise the Golden State Warriors franchise value by about conservatively $300 million. It's something that has rocked the sports world ever since the person around which the first of my live stream talk is going to be centered said these words. LeBron James said that if the Golden State Warriors could free up enough money, and I'm paraphrasing, to structure a supermax deal, he would be very interested in joining them as a free agent. Folks, that is nothing less than an incredible dream come true for a lot of Warriors fans who believed that Golden State should have made a play for the great one, King James, a long time ago. And I mean a long time ago. But we see the seeds of why that didn't occur. Excuse me. Sorry about that, folks. My apologies. It is earth-shattering, and it does cause an earthquake. I think it made my phone nervous because that just spontaneously happened. There was no reason why that should occur, absent my phone being really nervous that this sort of thing happened. Okay? Welcome to Zenny 62 Live on a Thursday night. Not quite late, but getting there. And I will acknowledge, for those of you who are watching this live stream, I say hello. For those of you watching this as video on demand, you missed the live stream part. You can't see the people writing the chats where I respond to most of them. Del Jr., hello, how are you doing? Before I get to your comments, let me go through the news, just read to you what's being said about this deal. First of all, there are quite a number of articles about this, according to Google, and the one that's highly cited was issued by ESPN about 16 hours ago under this headline: Sources, LeBron James would listen to Warriors if Max Slot is available. He did not say he would join, but he did say he would listen. And if you know anything about the Golden State Warriors' track record of late of landing big name free agents, well, specifically Kevin Durant, and if you know anything of the relationship that Kevin Durant and LeBron James have, if LeBron James, you can pretty much believe he's going to get a deal inked and become a Warrior. That's something else. This started with ESPN staff writer Chris Haynes' piece, innocently written, innocently presented, which went, if the Golden State Warriors can create a max salary slot this offseason, the defending NBA champions could position themselves to secure a meeting with LeBron James, league sources told in ESPN. How come they didn't tell Zenny 62 Media? There's no indication that Golden State is evaluating such options to acquire the Cleveland Cavaliers star at this time. Out of respect for the Warriors' winning culture, James would listen if Golden State explored ways to clear the necessary cap space, sources said. This offseason, James is expected to decline his $35.6 million player option and become an unrestricted free agent for the third time in his illustrious career. I added the illustrious part, although re-signing with Cleveland is not out of the question. James' distant relationship with Cavs owner Dan Gilbert is well chronicled, and the instability in Cleveland's front office has been of concern to him, LeBron, but the Warriors' strong organizational structure and the prospect of more championships would be an enticement that most veteran players would consider. James and his business team have been known to covet structure. Well, with Golden State, an ultra aggressive manager in Bob Myers, the ownership group as a whole, and Coach Steve Kerr are the epitome of that. The Warriors have approximately 135 million in money representing their payroll. That is the highest in the NBA. And so it started with that. And so after that, we had flurry after flurry after flurry after flurry of comments. For example, would chasing LeBron be worth the risk for the Warriors? What risk? I mean, think about it. Here you have the great one, the greatest, arguably, basketball player of our time, of our generation, coming to the wealthiest and of late winningest basketball team in NBA history and adding his name in such a way as to create a great grand alignment of stars. Consider this. As I talk to you, Steph Curry, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant are 1, 2, and 3 in live streams. This is a live stream. Welcome to Zenny62 Live, right? 1, 2, and 3 in merchandise sales. That's right. 1, 2, and 3 in merchandise sales. So if LeBron James were to come to the Golden State Warriors, the top 3 players in terms of merchandise sales would all be Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant. And if you're wondering what the next Warrior in the group is, it's Klay Thompson, who comes in, I believe, 12th out of a top 20. Incredible. Incredible. Now here's the other headline. LeBron to the Warriors, as unlikely as it sounds, here's how it could happen. And Bleacher Report has laid out the entire strategy. Some guy named Eric Pincus I've never heard of. He says that LeBron James shows the possibility of LeBron James coming to Golden State so shocked, completely shocked Kevin Durant that he just said blank. And then he acknowledged, he says, in this league, just like a couple of years ago, me coming here, nobody would have thought of that. And so how could it happen? And they said the following analysis isn't a look at why a James Dubs pairing will happen, but a hypothetical explanation of how it could happen from a salary cap standpoint, because they don't have any cap room right now, all right? And so here's the scenario. Should Durant decline his $26.3 million player option, the Warriors still would be $5 million over the NBA's $101 million projected salary cap. If James isn't concerned with getting a maximum salary, he can sign with Golden State via their mid-level exception of either $5.3 million or $8.6 million. Or, he could sign for $2.4 million. At $8.6 million, the Warriors will be subject to a hard cap at about $29 million, which would limit Durant's salary to no more than $10 million. Durant could get more of Golden State traded away players like Andre Iguodala or Sean Livingston without a salary coming back in return. If James accepted $2.4 million or $5.3 million salary, that would enable the Warriors to pay Durant up to $35.4 million without being compelled to deal Iguodala or Livingston. And the likelihood of that happening is, nobody's going to give up any money like that, right? And so they said the next avenue is basically getting rid of Iguodala or Livingston and their salaries, right? And that's a possibility. Or, you know what? They already have a sign and trade, okay? Or James opts in. Now, I'm reading this, skimming through, and I'm thinking of another option. And that other option could be that the Warriors team gets together on Moss and they decide player to player to say, we will cut our salaries by X and give that to LeBron. So imagine if you want to give LeBron, let's say $30 million, right? 3 times you have each player, each of the big 5 give up $4 million. Yeah, $5 million. So 5 times 5 is 25. And then the Warriors throw in the 5 million. So boom, LeBron has 5 million. It would take that kind of teamwork, that gift of a salary from each of these guys, right? To do that. Hey, now, for that, I'll get your comments on this. Hey, Jamal Mills, how you doing? Rick Rice, Barry Lee, how are you? Hey, Barry Lee, if you're tweeting this up, please use the hashtags SBL11 or II, SBLII, that's Super Bowl 52, SBLII, and then hashtag NFL, hashtag NBA, hashtag Oakland. Yeah, whatever you can do. So, Joseph Binsman, how are you? Barry Lee says tweet sent. Thank you very much. And Joseph Binsman says, I heard LeBron wants a max contract. Right. That scenario that I presented to you does not structure a max contract. Jamal Mills says, I say no to LeBron. Terrible idea. Why? I think it's a fantastic idea. I want to know why you say LeBron James to the Warriors is a bad idea. Into what? I mean, that's what I want to know. I mean, what? Seriously? A bad idea? How can that be? I mean, I'm just not seeing how that would be a bad idea. What's bad about it? I mean, okay, I can see one way it's bad. And that one way is that the ticket prices will be so doggone high, even on the secondary ticket market, especially on the secondary ticket market like StubHub, you'd be hard-pressed to find an affordable game to go to. Even among the lessers, LeBron would just simply up the ticket prices like nobody's business, and it would be a party. You know, that because that's a dream team scenario. That's more of a dream team scenario than Kevin Durant coming to the Warriors. So now you've got Durant and LeBron. That's like, what's that rap song about what Compton and Long Beach? You know you got trouble, right? That's basically what it is. And Silvermay says it's kind of funny. Anytime LeBron talks to a player not from his team, people think he's going to play with him. Yeah, I know. Like when he had the conversation with, I think it was the two other players. One of them that very recently, I think it was Dwayne Wade. Not Dwayne Wade. Was it Dwayne Wade and someone else? And they were speculating about that and about the pairing of those three in a different situation. It was a meme, you know. So I thought, wow. Jordan Yancey says, I thought his first choice, talking about LeBron, was the Lakers because of Magic Johnson. You know, I had heard that, but you have to remember, this is LeBron saying this. And you cannot ignore one thing. The fact that the Warriors have built an excellent winning machine. Who among big players would not be attracted to that? In addition, something else going on that's not talked about are the number of players investing, particularly on the Golden State Warriors, investing in startups locally. And in a number of cases, these startups are gaining traction, gaining users, and creating value for these players. Kevin Durant is investing in a couple of startups. That's also true for Iguodala, also true for Steph Curry. I could see, if they haven't done so already, the players setting up their own venture capital firm. And LeBron James, with his monies that he's gotten from being involved with Beats, which is picked up by Apple Computer, all right, that I could see LeBron coming to the Bay Area and getting involved in investing in businesses here. It would put him closer to Apple Computer, which bought Beats, and allow for some sponsorship opportunities with Apple. So LeBron, I would be very surprised if he were not, has to be thinking along the lines I just presented, not just basketball, but how being in the Bay Area would open up his investment opportunities and get him closer to the billionaire he wants to be. That's what LeBron wants to be. He wants to be a billionaire. And so we've got, discussion where I heard Joseph Benjamin says, that's what I was wondering today, talking about LeBron to the Lakers instead of the Warriors. That's what I was wondering today, Barry. How could the NBA not block LeBron going to the Warriors after they did to what they did to the Lakers and Chris Paul? Yeah, I thought about that. And I certainly hope they don't do that. But, really, I certainly hope they don't do that. I felt that when it was done and David Stern pulled the trigger on that the Lakers should have sued the NBA for tampering with their franchise value. Because think about it. LeBron would add $300 million conservatively to the Warriors' franchise value. That's right, $300 million. We're talking about, first of all, he would bring about $8 million in additional ticket sales to the Warriors per year. Let's say he signs for 5 years, right? So he signs for 5 years, and so 8 times 5 is 40. So you got $40 million right there, right? That's in ticket sales gained by the Warriors. Then there's a sponsorship. LeBron commands about $50 million in sponsorships. But yeah, okay, that's for him. But you have to remember, a player's sponsorship value is also to some degree a function of who they are with. So you have to credit the Warriors with that same amount in terms of its value and their ability to leverage his star power into sponsorship deals that benefit both the Warriors and LeBron. So 5 times 5 is 25. That's $250 million. Plus 40 is 40. That's $290 million. Rounded to the nearest 100. That's $300 million. Boom. $300 million in additional franchise value for the Warriors. Jamal Miller says, and Durant and LeBron both play the same position. And Joseph Bensman adds, LeBron does or can play several positions. Silver May says, if he does leave if LeBron leaves the Cleveland Cavaliers, it would probably be for the Lakers. Him being on the Warriors would not do anything but make the NBA boring. But you know what, Silver Mays, I don't think that, look, LeBron does not care about that. Remember, this is LeBron who made the statement. Why would he care about whether the NBA is boring or not if he is set to make a deal that basically will allow him to close out his career in fine style and put him on a trajectory to, be a billionaire? He doesn't give a crap about that. So Jamal Miller says, well, that's true, but what position would you play him? And he answers small guard. And Joseph Bensman says LeBron could play point, maybe even take out the center and put him there, laugh out loud. And Jamal Miller says the chemistry would be off. Silver May says, correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't the Warriors moving to San Francisco? Yes, that's the plan. Joseph Bensman says, if LeBron leaves the Cavs and Cavs fans become Warrior fans, that would be weak. The GOAT says LeBron is arguably the most versatile player in the NBA. So there you go. That would be weak. And those are the comments, as we talk about them right now. And Rick Rice says people would hate LeBron even more than they do now. No, actually, that's not true. We have a large population of people in the Bay Area that would love LeBron. It would be the most amazing storyline in the NBA if it were to happen. It would be a multi-year storyline. But also, and I'm saying this to you, LeBron James' real value, particularly if he's willing, the other person was Andre Iguodala. Iguodala is also investing in startups. If LeBron teams with Kevin Durant and Andre Iguodala and starts investing in companies, it's a whole different type of venture capital ball game in the Bay Area. That's the other story that has not been written yet, and I'm going to write it. And so Rick Rice says he's hopping on the Warriors bandwagon. Talking about who, me or LeBron or what? But, okay. And then Jordan Yancey says he will be a Laker, and Jordan, I don't think LeBron James is going to be a Laker at all. I I really believe that LeBron James is headed to the Golden State Warriors. I don't think he's headed to the Lakers. You may not like it, but he is going to be a Golden State Warrior player, LeBron James, and it's going to be incredible, incredible, absolutely incredible. You can pencil in that NBA championship. So let me get this straight. Are you some of you saying that you would hate the Warriors for signing LeBron? I mean, is that what I hear coming out of you guys? All right. Oh, by the way, I got a question. Are you guys getting your notifications? Because I have a theory that someone's screwing with the algorithm so that if I say something about Raiders in Vegas, more of you get a notification than if I talk about something not like that, okay? And so Jamal Mills says, no Zenny to what? Benjamin says, Rick Rice says, people hated him when he went to Miami. Well, I didn't. Cavaliers fans hated him. I didn't. I was upset that he didn't go to Chicago. So was President Obama. Remember, Obama wanted LeBron to go to the Bulls. Okay? And so he pretty much, he didn't say, LeBron, you need to go to the Bulls, but he sort of dropped a hint that he wanted that. But LeBron took a look at Miami, the Sun, the marketing, and he went in that direction. And that's why I believe he's going to go in the direction of the Warriors, all right? So, and that's the reason. Jamal Mills says we would have to get rid of Clay. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think the Warriors players would band together, and I think they would take pay cuts to get LeBron on the team, knowing that if they took pay cuts and divided them among, say, 5 or 6 players, they could do it. They would take those pay cuts with the idea they can make money on the back end with wealthier endorsement deals, higher ticket sales. You see what I'm getting at? They would take that cut to bring him on and then make the money back later. That's how they would do that. And so, hey, I'll see you, Barry Lee. See you. Silver May says, Warriors are already champs or stacked. I don't see the point. It would just make the NBA less interesting. But who cares? I mean, no one's structuring this deal. They're not saying, oh my goodness, I can't do this. I can't. LeBron is not saying, I can't do this deal because Silver Mays will feel that everything is just less interesting. No, that's not how it works at all. And no one cares about that. No one cares about, I don't care about how someone would hate LeBron. That's crazy. And you're also wrong. All right, people would love LeBron for it. This would be a better move than when he went from Miami back to the Cleveland Cavaliers. That was like, okay. I was like, oh, great, he's coming home. He got them a championship. The owner is, LeBron wants a different place. The Warriors are a perfect, good, I should say great, rich NBA players' place to be. And yeah, that's the other thing. They are going to, and how nice would it be to have a new player like LeBron in the Chase Center, slated to open in 2019, I believe. So this is like, what, next year? Is that right? 2019? So, look, and Joseph Binsman says, I was mad at LeBron for 2 reasons for going to Miami. I viewed he betrayed Cleveland, and also if he was a real king, what city is fit for a king? New York. No, I say Chicago is fit for a king. Jordan. My Knicks need a king. He said no to New York. He also said no to Chicago. He went to Miami. But look, in going to Miami, what did he do? He brought Miami a championship. Rick Rice says, this is turning into a comedy act. Well, you mean the Warriors? I see nothing funny about it at all. I know what they're up to. I know what those players are up to. They are about fashioning a kind of venture capital club among themselves. And once they think about it, they want LeBron as part of that club. They want his relationships with Dr. Dre and with other musicians. There's another entire side to this story that will unfold to drive this to happen as we proceed through the season, okay? So Joseph Binsman says, if I was a Cavs fan, I would have forgiven him for leaving in the first place, even with the title he brought Cleveland. And Rick Rice says, the only Kings in NBA play for Sacramento. Hey, I didn't get you guys question. I didn't get you guys answer to my question regarding notifications. Did you get a notification for this? And or how did you all find out that this is going on now? Did you see a tweet or social media, or are you just sort of hanging around? See, Rick Rice says you never got it. Okay, see, that's the kind of thing I need to know, because anybody else, I'll read your comments, but I really want to have this question answered. How did you get, if you did get your notification? And I thank you, Rick Rice, for answering my question, because I'm trying to work this out with YouTube, and I have a feeling that their algorithm's messing with me. If I talk about something like the Raiders or Las Vegas, I have a theory that more people get notifications than if I don't, and that's wrong. So I need to run up their flagpole and say, hey, look, you need to stop. So again, Joseph Binsman, I need you to answer the damn question. Excuse me, how did you get a notification? And Joseph, okay, Joseph, you kept your YouTube tab open and refreshed it. Oh, there was no. Okay, cool. And Jamal Mills says, I did not get notified while watching your earlier video and saw you were live. Okay, all right. This really helps me, okay? I mean, this really helps me, and I really appreciate that, because, okay, now, I got what I need to know, and now I can fix it, because I believe that people are actually getting notifications when this goes live, when I talk about a certain keyword pops up, and that is wrong, and I need to really bring it home to them that their behavior has got to stop. YouTube is artificially curtailing my ability to add viewers and have a consistently popular live stream with this algorithm jazz. I don't like it. You know, they're really going on a limb to make it look like certain people who are, generally white are really popular and have all these subscribers, and then they go out of their way to make someone like me, who's African American, who's black, and talk about, news items lower. I mean, it's not something that I have wanted to talk about, but I'm seeing it again and again and again. I'm not going to talk about it at length right now. I'm just putting it out there that this happens, and I'm freaking tired of it. And I'm going to let them know about it once again. All right. So, Al Hussein says, I did a search using the words Eagles and Patriots and saw you were live. Okay, cool. Welcome, Ali. Thank you. And Jordan Yancey says he would not be a Golden State Warrior. He would be a LA Laker. I doubt that one. Jamal Miller says, I did not get notified in watching your earlier video. Thank you. Okay. And Corey Brown says, do you think Al Davis will balk at the chance to totally dominate because it was unfair to other teams? No. Thank you, Corey. I mean, no one's sitting around thinking, I feel so sorry for the Timberwolves. Oh my goodness. I feel so sorry for the 76ers and all these. No. Care less. Care absolutely less, all right? That's just like saying that the New England Patriots care that the rest of the NFL and the rest of the fans are tired of them being in the Super Bowl. That's essentially the same thing. You think the Pats care about that? Absolutely not. If the Pats cared, they would have done everything they could to throw every game that they were in when it looked like they were up to touchdown's door from a Super Bowl. Instead, hey, here we are. The Pats are about to play for what could be their sixth, not fifth, but sixth Super Bowl championship. My goodness, okay? Outrageous. Are the Philadelphia Eagles ready for them? And are the Eagles ready for them? Wow, I believe that they are. Now, your question regarding Raider news, Rick Rice, there's no major Raider news out there right now. The Raiders signed Brian Callahan as quarterback coach on Monday. He came from the Detroit Lions, where he was there for 8 years. As far as news regarding Las Vegas, the only news out there is the news that I have put out. Okay? No one else. Stay tuned for more. All right? So, now, Joseph Binsman does not like, he hates this Super Bowl matchup. He says, this matchup totally sucks for me as a Giants fan. But I think I have a team I can stomach more winning on Sunday. Which team is that? Super Maze says, NBA is interesting until the playoffs. Really? Or do you mean that in reverse? Dale Jr. says, the Warriors need LeBron for more play in the paint. But the Warriors still need a good center. LeBron would help fill that bill. Really would. Would help that. Dale, as you said that, I'm going to put out a new tweet asking. I'm going to try an experiment in tweeting. An experiment in tweeting, and it is put out a Twitter tweet that says something. I'm calling upset. Eagles win 32-27, says Corey Brown. I think it's going to be 30-21. By the way, in terms of Super Bowl parties tonight, let's see. The NFL parties are generally tonight, except the Commissioner's party is tomorrow night. And I believe, I don't know where the Playboy party or the Maximum party is. I have to find that one out. Not that I'm going, of course. And so, you never know. I'm just typing up something real quick. The one thing I hate about using Firefox. Okay. The one thing I hate about using Firefox is that sometimes it gets really gummy with your RAM, your random access memory, and all of a sudden I can't send anything out. And it's like I put the cursor down to take out part of a title, and next thing you know, it freezes on me. It's like, stop freezing on me. It's really, agonizing. And then I want to highlight one part of it, and it highlights the whole dang part of it. So then I got to resort to another tactic, and that's not working either. This is garbage. Oh boy, I got to figure out a better way, and I really do. So you wouldn't believe that sending out a simple tweet would be this complicated, but it's not that it's complicated. It is just that it's, I'm trying to erase these certain words, and the thing just doesn't move at all. It freezes. The latest Firefox update sucks. Don't use Firefox browser. Use Chrome. This is awful. The Firefox people ought to be drawn and quartered. They ought to be punished in the middle of flogged in the middle of the town square for this stuff. This is ridiculous. There's got to be a better, faster browser. I think, okay, wait a minute. Hashtag. Live stream. Like that. Live stream. Okay? Live stream. It won't even give me my number sign. There it is. To make the hashtag, right? It won't give me my doggone hashtag. It took that long to send out a simple frickin' tweet. That's wrong. It made me want to have water. Boy, oh boy. Yeah. And when I press the button to tweet, there's a blue dot that goes like this. And it's still doing it. It takes a minute to send this thing out for no reasons. Come on. Give me a frickin' break, will ya? Just send the thing. Hurry up. Now it says your tweet's been posted. Hoorah. Hoorah! All right, now I got all that out of there. Oh, and this is ridiculous. Hey, ML, how you doing? I think I'm going to switch browsers. Bear with me, folks. I'm going to shut down Firefox and move over. No, you didn't miss anything, ML. You didn't miss a thing. I'm going to shut down this and I'm going to move over. I'm in a bad mood. I'm going to move over to, I'm in a bad mood. I'm in a bad mood because of this whole notification thing. I feel like I'm being gamed by YouTube. Um, but anyway, I shut down Firefox. I'm opening up Chrome. It's going to be a better experience for me. Firefox is RAM heavy. It just sucks your memory. It's like, I got all the memory. I'm taking all the memory. I'm eating all the memory like I'm a fat guy. I'm just eating. I can't take anything more. I'm gonna eat all this stuff. I'm gonna eat your RAM so you can't do anything and munch, munch, munch. That's what it feels like, you know. Yeah, I'm mad. I'm freaking mad. And excuse my comment about fat guy. But had this image of whatever. You get the idea, right? Me moving along, moving along, moving along big time. Opening Chrome, and Chrome moves faster. Yay, Chrome! Woo! You know, this thing is opening up like it should, and this is moving so fast. It's like comparing. I mean, the speed difference is amazing. I just can't say enough for it. All right, now let's talk Super Bowl. Well, excuse me for ranting. No, I don't have to excuse me for that. But I'll tell you why I believe, although I picked the Eagles, that it's right that the Patriots are the front runners. And this goes back to a comment that the great quarterback Craig Morton, yes, I did say great quarterback Craig Morton, made after his Denver Broncos lost to the fantastic Dallas Cowboys in the 1970s, specifically 1978. He observed this. It was 78 for the 77 season. Craig Morton said after the end of the game, we were out there thinking about winning. They were out there thinking about football. And the man doing all the thinking, as the narrator John Facenda for NFL Films said, was Tom Landry. But at any rate, my point is the Patriots have been there, done that in terms of thinking about winning, but Belichick wouldn't allow them to think too much about winning, and he made them think a lot more about football. And now they've had many, many years of practice at this. They are, I remind everybody, they are the defending Super Bowl champions. Think about it. They are the defending Super Bowl champions. And hey, by the way, take a look at this, folks. Woohoo! Watch these. It says recommended, right? This is for tonight, right? There we are, live now. Woohoo! Live now. Look at that. Not bad. Not bad, okay? Hey, so for all the complaining I'm doing about YouTube, maybe I ought to give them a little thank you. Thank you for recommending me. Us. Yeah. All right, now let me go back home here. And not only that, that's on the Chrome browser. Okay? Kick butt, man. Yeah. I'm liking it. So Silver Maze says, Eagles 20, Pats refs 28. Ooh, you want to... So basically, Silver Maze, you're telling me that the referees will find a way to engineer a victory for the Patriots? Is that what I'm reading? Maya Kamal says, hi, Zinni. Just came in? You mean just came in? Why am I mad? I'm mad because of two things. I'm mad, first of all, because the Firefox browser was just slow. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, if I bring down here, right, okay, to this, you see this? You see how quickly that I move, right? I want to make it dizzy with multiple images. But my point is that if I did that on the Firefox browser, you'd see this white circle because the image was buffering and it was slow, okay? That was really pissing me off. On top of the whole fact that you all aren't getting the complete notifications. I was very more than gratified to see the live stream pop up in the recommendations. You all told me about how you find the live streams when you were searching certain words. And I'm going to process all of that into a different type of approach, okay? And Silver Mage, you asked a great question. Why do I use Firefox anyway? Because most of the time I like the way it feels, and I know that doesn't make any sense, but let me explain that in more depth. Firefox had a great way of recording my passwords, and it allowed a seamless transmission or seamless switch from one page to the other. But this Firefox upgrade, so-called, isn't providing that. And I'm finding that, particularly over the past, 3 months, 4 months, there's been a serious buffering issue I don't get on Chrome. And I'm looking at Chrome right now, and I'm really pleased with what I see. I mean, specifically, I see my image, and it's clear. Look at this. It's clear, and it's not buffering, okay? Look at this, okay? It's clear, all right? It's not, and it's clear, and it's not buffering, all right? And that's what I'm talking about. So it moves at the speed of life, as opposed to a little bit slower than the others, like what Firefox does. No one moves like that. And so when you want to monitor, and that's essentially what I'm doing, I'm able to monitor my hand gestures, what I'm saying. I can see also what you're obviously typing, right? But this is a production, and there is a method to my madness when I gesticulate with my hands, and I work within this box, right? Okay, I work within this box, all right? And so I'm playing within the box, and I have it in my head how I want to appear as I'm doing this. So, and so Silvermate says, what if the game is really bad? Talking about the Super Bowl, if the game is really bad, then, hey, speaking of which, folks, I want you to mark your calendars for tomorrow. Everybody listening, I'm going to put out an announcement for this. I've got 2 great shows coming up in the next 2 days. All right? Tomorrow, all right, I want you to mark this. This is tomorrow, and but I don't have my thing here, right? All right, but just mark your clocks, mark your watches. Tomorrow night, 9:30. I'll write it in here, right? I'm typing it right here. 9:30 p.m. EST Friday. Be here. Why? Because I'm going to be talking with a pollster from Seton Hall who claims that his phone survey of 760 likely viewers of NFL content, games, say that of that, 54% of them say they'll watch the Super Bowl and that's it. Okay? So I'm going to put that out there. In fact, let me give you a preview of what to expect, because I think this is going to be, as Ed Sullivan would have said back in his day, a really, really great shoe. I really think this is going to be a really great shoe, really, really great shoe, and if the shoe fits, you say wear it, right? You're going to want to wear this shoe because it's going to fit so well on you. You're just going to love it. And you're going to love me for giving you this really, really great shoe. Yeah, I did say it like that. Anyway, my point is that you've got this idea out there that the NFL protests have so hampered and so harmed and so just scuttled the thing and made it that people just don't want to watch the Super Bowl, right? That they're not going to want to watch it. But is that really true? Is that true? Well, I'll tell you what I have discovered. It's just called the Seton Hall poll. And what I have discovered is purely, I got an email. This started because I had an email. National poll finds interest in Super Bowl down, reflecting season-long viewing trends. And so I thought, is this one of these kind of ridiculous takes where, oh, I have a political issue with this? No. All right. Hey, Joseph, you're all right. And hey, John Marks, how you doing? And so anyway, I'll come back to that point in a second. But let me do one thing since you guys are having a conversation. I don't like to stray too far away from your conversation. But and Corey Brown says, weren't the Giants like 9-7 the year they beat the undefeated Pats? Yes, I was there. Joseph Binsman is more correct. His Giants were 10-6 in 2007, 9-7 in 2011. But that was 2000. Yeah, that's right. So he's right. He's right. And those are both years that they beat the Giants, the Pats. Okay, ML, how you doing? And Joseph, you do know I have the final drive video, right? With Plaxico Burress scoring the touchdown in the left end zone. Just saying, all right? Now, let me get back to my news. I want to share with you this preview of tomorrow night's program. I'm not giving you a preview to say I'm leaving yet, folks. Hold on a second. But it's the Seton Hall Sports Poll. Interest in Super Bowl down, reflecting season-long viewing trends. Slow migration to devices other than TV continues. 22% look forward to commercials more than the game. And this is from South Orange, New Jersey, February 1st of this 2018 year, reflecting a season-long decline in viewership. Seton Hall Sports Poll conducted this week shows 54% of Americans planning on watching Sunday Super Bowl, down from 68% when the same question was asked 2 years ago. Wonder about last year. Interestingly, of those who identify themselves as people who closely follow the NFL, 16% say they will not be watching. That's almost 1 out of every 5. 16% of people who identify themselves as NFL fans in a significant number, and reflects the trend of declining ratings that we've seen all season, noted Rent Gentile, director of the poll, which is sponsored by the Sharkey Institute. Now, see, here's where I always question these polls because, no, he says declining ratings. Okay? Wait a minute. If 16% aren't going to be watching the NFL, but did you ask them if they're going to watch something else? Because if they're just going to turn off their television set, that is a decline in viewership, not ratings. The reason I say that is because if you shift from the NFL to watch something else, yeah, that hurts NFL ratings. But if you turn your TV set off entirely, that just hurts viewership. There are people who write this stuff, and I don't mean to be derisive of these guys. I talk to them on the phone. They seem like great guys. But when they write this, when someone writes this, generally, they seem to confuse viewership with ratings. You can have fewer watching, but the NFL can still dominate ratings for that day. Okay? We have fewer people watching television sets in general today than we did in 2010. It's been a steady decline because of smartphones and, it's been a steady decline. I want to get your comments here. And we've got Silver Maze says, what movie trailers that haven't debuted yet do you think will be on the Super Bowl commercials? Oh, I'm gonna go out on a limb, Silver Maze, and I think that we will see a teaser for Godzilla, the 2019 movie, because we have Godzilla, King of the Monsters coming out in 2019, right? And then right after that, we've got Godzilla versus Kong, or Kong versus Godzilla I hope Godzilla beats the shit out of Kong. I'm just telling you like it is. I am so sick of King Kong. I'm tired of these King Kong movies. I've had it with Kong. I don't care if it's the 33 Kong, the 76 Kong, the 2005 Kong, or the 2017 Kong. I want Kong to get his butt kicked by Godzilla. I've had it with Kong. Okay. So anyway, Joseph Business says, still can't believe Seahawks and Falcons blew it against the Pats. My Giants gave everybody the blueprint. Yeah, make Brady dance. Have a beastly defensive line. Guess my Giants did it the best, he says. Yeah, I guess so. So it would appear. Now, getting back to my commentary about what to come up to tomorrow. Okay. The poll was conducted. Oh, anyway, 16% of people who identify themselves as NFL fans, in a significant number, reflect this trend of declining ratings we've seen all season, noted Rick Gentile, who will be my guest tomorrow night, director of the poll, which is sponsored by the Sharkey Institute. This seems to be impacting Super Bowl viewership, should be a concern to the league, the broadcasters, and especially the advertisers. The poll was conducted January 29th to 31st of this year, with random calls to 706 adults on landlines and cell phones across the country, and has a margin of error of plus or minus 3.8%. Another factor might be the return of the New England Patriots. Yes, with 20% of the population feeling less inclined to root for them, 12% said they were more inclined, and 62% said there was no difference. Viewing on other devices. Another slow trend that the league and broadcasters are surely watching is the migration of viewers from traditional TV sets to, phones. In 2016, 98% said they would be watching the game on television. This year, the number's down to 90%. That's incredible. That is notable. With 10% citing other devices or a combination of TV and other devices, we call using the second screen, right? Commercials and halftime show. 22% said they were most looking forward to the game's commercials, with 61% most looking forward to the game and 14% the halftime show. Among men, 76% said they most look forward to the game and 11% the commercials. Among women, 47% cited the game and 32% the commercials. 60% of the population said they watched the commercials more closely than on other TV shows, and a third, 33% of African American respondents said they most looked forward to the halftime show. More so than any. That's interesting. I wonder why he's so. I'll ask him tomorrow. That's the neat aspect of doing this. I'll have Rick on. I'll say, why did you single out black folks, Rick? What's up with that? So, anthem protests. The national anthem, Stand or Kneel, remains a matter of interest to the public, with 27% approving a player protesting during the playing of the anthem at the start of the Super Bowl, and 44% disapproving, with 25% having no opinion. The question was also asked of regular season viewing to see if the higher profile of the Super Bowl mattered, and if it was a similar breakdown, and it was a similar breakdown, These numbers are consistent with previous polls dating back to September of 2016. XFL. Finally, wrestling mogul Vince McMahon plans to bring back his football league in 2020, the XFL, attracted an interest in following by 27% of the public in the poll, and while 61% in the poll said they had no interest, that's significant. 47% of people who identified as NFL fans said they were interested. This seems like a respectable starting point for McMahon's plan, said Gentile. And so that is my preview of it. Okay, and I am looking forward to having Mr. Gentile on my show and with you to talk about this in more depth. And we will see what happens. Okay, now All of you are reacting to my emotional response regarding Godzilla. Joseph Binsman says, you want Kong to be Skull on this. You want Kong. This is Joseph Binsman says, you want Kong to be the Skull on Skull Island. Yeah. I want his face smashed into that thing, you know, and that's it, okay? I'm serious. I'm tired of Kong. John Mark says Godzilla's to destroy Donkey Kong. Oops, I mean King Kong. Punker Rules says Brady will figure out the Eagles' defense in the second half and win, unfortunately. Kevin KD says Godzilla has thicker skin, bigger teeth, and I think his breath is a flamethrower. Yeah, those are good reasons. Kevin KD says Punker Rule, if he does not, the rest will help him out. Kevin KD says Godzilla has a strong tail. Yeah. To which John Mark said it's not only that Godzilla has a strong tail, but also that Godzilla can fly. Rick Rice says, hey, Zinster, did you hear about Dexter McDonald's Super Bowl party in Las Vegas? Yeah, it got canceled. Another reason why they should stay in Oakland. Yeah, it got canceled. Party got canceled. So he ain't doing it, all right? Not doing it. Kevin KD says, man, Godzilla is serious business. Hey, by the way, I don't know if you guys are aware, but there's an animation of Godzilla and King Kong fighting, and Godzilla wins. It's a really cool animation. They do knock the crap out of each other. Okay? They really do. And it's like, wow. I mean, it's an intense fight for an animated program. I don't want to show it to you because I know the minute I just show a little bit of the clip, they're going to try to snag all of my advertising money from this, and I hate that. Leave me alone, you know? If I showed a picture, forget it. In fact, what I'll do, next best thing, is I'll see if I can get the animators on the show, and we'll talk about King Kong getting creamed by Godzilla, because that's what happened. King Kong got creamed by it was not pretty. And the Godzilla in their rendition fights dirty. He's got the teeth. He's flipping the tail, flipping you out of the way if you're Kong. Man, he's doing everything but, whatever. John Mark says Godzilla versus Bambi. Actually, you know what? It's about that dirty. Yeah. Kevin KD says, I remember the 2002 Godzilla movie with Matthew Broderick. Actually, that was 1998. I have that at home. And I had high hopes for that movie. And I remember the thrill I got out of the commercial, which was shot in what appeared to be Wall Street, I guess. And they had these hydraulics set up in such a way that they lifted these cars like off the pavement in unison, making it look like Godzilla's foot stock was so great that it was causing the street to shake and cause these vibrations that, made these cars go, right? And the only good part about that entire movie was Godzilla's first walk through New York. But even then, Godzilla was small. And they had no breath. They had him, I remember, I think it was Roland Emmerich, who was a reason to get really, really excited for Godzilla, because he and Dean Devlin were known for disaster movies like Independence Day, right? So there was a lot of reasons to expect great things from this Godzilla. Boy, they failed. They got a massive F. I mean, after that, I didn't care if I heard their name again. It's awful. Awful. And Rick Rice, wait a minute. What is this? I'm getting back to your comments here. And so Corey Brown says, maybe Godzilla eats Kong in the end and they show Godzilla picking his teeth afterward. Yeah, something like that. Rick Rice says, I'll take Bambi. To which John Mark says, Bambi for 1,000, Alex. Kevin KD says it go weird with all those Godzilla offspring. To which he says, monsters like Godzilla and King Kong are supposed to be loners rebelling against organized society. And yeah, and John Marks and I agree about the 98 Godzilla. And Kevin KD says, it got weird. And so, what are you talking about, Kevin KD? Was there some movie? Uh, or you're talking about uh, oh, the Godzilla offspring thing. Yeah. That's right. But see, remember the Godzilla. This Godzilla laid eggs. Okay, and it was laying eggs. That's right. That's the other thing I didn't like about it. This Godzilla was laying eggs, and it had built a nest in Madison Square Garden. Oh, brother. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Uh, and John Marks asks, "Have you just seen Destroy All Monsters?" Yes, I have, several times. And Joseph Bisman says, "Zinni, if you have time, check out the clip from tonight's Jeopardy episode. They had a whole NFL category, and none of them could answer any of the questions. It's hilarious. Wow. And yeah, that's pretty bad. So, but yeah, as Joseph Binsman reminds us, Godzilla laid eggs in Madison Square Garden. Laugh out loud. They were like, it's asexual. Yeah, that was the 1998 Godzilla. And it's like you can't. It's like no one can seem, say for J.J. Abrams, to make a great monster movie in New York. I don't know why. No one's really got it right except Abrams. And Abrams got it right with Cloverfield. Has anyone seen Cloverfield? Outstanding movie. The remake was supposedly to be that. I thought the remake was going to be that was it called Tyrilla or whatever they call that monster coming back again. Instead, it was something not that. It was weird. And Kevin KD blames J.J. Abrams for the ruining of Star Trek and Star Wars. I disagree with that. I like what he's done with them. We could talk about that in another show at length. I like what he's done with them. Why do you not like Kevin KD, the J.J. Abrams Star Trek and Star Wars? Okay. Silver May says, "We can be heroes," and that Diddy song. The only things I remember, right? I had that soundtrack because it was we can be heroes for just one day. It had a great soundtrack to it, and there was another one. I think it was by Jamiroquai. I'm going deeper underground. There's too much. There's too much. Was it too much drama or damage? I'm going deeper underground. There's too much damage in this town. Yeah, that was a great one. Yeah, that soundtrack was fantastic. And then Diddy had, Come With Me. Yeah, that was Diddy. And yeah, that was it. John Marks said he wanted to see The Last Jedi, but his local theater took it out. Wow. And yeah, the soundtrack for Godzilla was fantastic. In fact, let me see if I can find a notification of who was on that soundtrack, Godzilla 1998 soundtrack. And that's the thing, you'd think that, like, for example, the Godzilla that was made by Gareth Edwards, that had a mediocre theme by the French composer, and the rest of it was forgettable, okay? Just forgettable. But Godzilla, the album, 1998 soundtracks, this was various, and you had Heroes album version by the Wallflowers, Come With Me by Puff Daddy, Deeper Underground by Jamiroquai, No Shelter by Rage Against the Machine, Air, Ben Folds 5, Running Knees by Days of the New, Macy Day Parade by Michael Penn, Walk the Sky by Fuel, A320, which is an airplane I've flown on many times, album version by the Foo Fighters, Brain Stew, the Godzilla remix by Green Day, an untitled work by Joel, but that music has stood the test of time. We can reach back for it in seconds and hear it. Rick Rice says Godzilla versus Joe Flacco. Kevin KD says 90s make great music, but now we have Elisa Cara and Bruno Mars. So, yeah, I know. Elisa has a voice. All right, I heard her voice. I belong to this gym which has a tendency to pump her music out a little bit too much. But this latest song they're pumping out, the name of which I don't know, I heard her voice and I thought, okay, I get it. Wow. Bruno Mars, hey, 24 Karat Magic. In the air. I love that. I love that. John Mark says Godzilla versus Mark Davis. To which Kevin KD, Black Lion says Godzilla beats Kong every time. Kevin KD says, I take Mark Davis in 5 rounds. Black Lion, though, we have to come back and talk about that Godzilla versus Kong comment you made about Godzilla taking Kong every time. I agree that he should. But in the 1962 version, the year I was born, by the way, which is why I'm Zenny 62. Because all these great things happened in 1962. The Rolling Stones, Godzilla vs. Kong, Marilyn Monroe. You get the idea. I go on and on and on. But my point is that in the movie, right, both went underwater after Kong got hit by the lightning and I guess the berry juice and all that, and he became strong and all that, jazz, and that's the only way that he was able to overcome Godzilla, was kicking the crap out of him. But then Godzilla stayed under, or so we were led to believe, and we see Kong. Is it Kong swimming away that we see? I think it's Kong, right? I thought it was Godzilla. Some people say it's Kong. I thought it was Godzilla swimming away. So anyway, and I think that the filmmakers apparently wanted to deliberately make it look like a draw. But as I understand it, in the latest version, there will be a winner. There will be a winner. John Mark says, I think Mark Davis would beat King Kong. And Kevin KD would take Mark Davis in 5 rounds. Superman says, I didn't even... I'll rephrase this. Kevin KD says something that he didn't know Hans Zimmer came out of retirement from comic book movies as scoring Dark Phoenix. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, and John Marks mentions the classic Godzilla versus the Smog Monster. I remember my mom taking me to a theater to see that when it came out, I believe, in 1972, right? It was the environmental movement and all that, right? And so Joseph Bensman says they need to do a horror movie mashup. I've been waiting for Michael Myers versus Jason. Ooh, that would be cool. John Marks, are you paying attention? John Marks. John Marks. John Marks. John Marks. That would be cool to do a video mashup of that. Yes. What do you think about that? A mashup featuring Mike Myers. Hey, I remember, everybody, Comic-Con is coming up. I am planning an event at Comic-Con. I'll keep you posted if you're going to be in San Diego. That will be Zenny 62 Live in San Diego. I'm trying to get a sponsor for that. I've got one proposal out already. I'm just going to start throwing them out all over the place. Heck of a battle, John Mark says. Yeah, it was. Yep. And it would be, rather. Black Lion Supreme says it was Kong swimming away because Godzilla was too much for him. Yeah. It's like, get out of here. Yes, because also Godzilla swims underwater. Kong needed air, so he had to get out of there. Get out of here. Yeah. Interesting. I'm going to stop, by the way, at 2 o'clock tonight, which is in 10 minutes. Okay, but remember, folks, tomorrow, 9:30, I'll have Rick Gentile from Seton Hall to talk about his NFL Super Bowl viewership poll. Should be a fascinating show. Can't do it without you. I need you. Come on down. And Black Lion says, bingo! Emil Scott says, what do you think about the buzz going around the NFL is rigged? Yeah, who started that? I've heard that before. I find it difficult to fathom in its entirety. Now, the reason is because of the complexity of the game and so many elements of it that are just really all but impossible to control. They just are. And someone, if it were truly rigged in that way, would have blown the whistle by now. And not only that, theoretically, the players would have to be so well paid to be kept hushed that they wouldn't consider going on strike. So I don't believe that. Now, do I believe there are certain refs that are biased? Yes. Yes. Do I believe there are certain refs that should be investigated as separate from the game itself? Yes. Am I willing to name those refs? No, I'm not. But that guy that went over and tapped Tom Brady on the shoulder, or hit him in the chest, like, hey, congratulations. That was bad. I forgot his name. I talked about him in another program. I should not have forgot his name. Let me go back and get his name. I'll just type Brady NFL ref cheating. And I believe if I type that, let's see here. It should be, yeah, Brady gets congratulated by ref immediately. Footage shows official congratulating him. And there was I'm trying to find the name of this guy. New conspiracy theories. And it was Clancy or Cater. Did referee fix AFC Championship game for New England? Let me see here. And should be footage shows official congratulating Tom Brady. Hold on a second. And they said that proves now the Daily Mail says that the Patriots are unfairly favored by refs after New England were only I can't scroll down here. It won't let me. And now, okay, there it is. Cleat Blakeman, that's his name. Cleat Blakeman. Cleat Blakeman. Cleat Blakeman. This guy. That guy. Cleat Blakeman. Remember that name. Cleat Blakeman. Never forget that name. Cleat Blakeman is the man that has given the NFL's image a bit of a tarnish. There you go. And somebody says, I've never seen a ref congrat players like that before. Me neither. And Just a Business says, when will you do your Super Bowl pick? I'm going to do it. I was going to do it tonight. It's still, I've said it before, I expect it to be Eagles 31, Patriots 20. But I'll do one tomorrow because I'm running out of time. I'm running out of time. And Kevin KD says, I've seen the Pats run the clock down past 0 millions of times and never thrown the flag. Yeah. Joseph Binsman says, Pirates basketball is doing well this year. Okay. And Joseph Binsman says, Seton Hall is in his neck of the woods. Rick Rice says, yeah, Kev, I've been saying it's rigged since the Tuck Rule game. Rick Rice says, Pats always get the calls. And Kevin KD says, Rick Rice, certain calls that went against the Jags would never have gone against the Pats. And I do believe that, I do believe that the Patriots knew that, and Brady threw a ball in the direction of his wide receiver, number 14, I believe it was, where he got the pass interference call in the third quarter. He threw that ball knowing he was going to get that call, and then got that call, and that set up their comeback. So Kevin KD says, all I want is for Tom Brady to retire. Man, I really wish that his hometown team could have acquired him. And so, Scott, Rick Rice has said that people have said the NFL is rigged for years. Scott says, it made me think, with all the stuff going on from the anthem to the divides in the country, it made me think that owners and refs orchestrated two of Americans' symbols play in the Super Bowl. It does look strange that way. It really does. It does. You can't go against the fact that the image does look that strange. But I remind you of this. It lets the Pittsburgh Steelers off the hook for having a sucky offensive game plan, and Todd Haley, their offensive coordinator, for calling a bad game. Like, for example, that pass he threw on 4th and 1 when they only had this much to go. They easily could have picked up that amount of space for a first down. They didn't do it. And not surprisingly, Tom Haley was fired. Not just for that, but I also think because he got into that incident in the bar where his wife got into that fight on New Year's Eve night. But, when you say it's fixed and you point to one game, there is a natural tendency to forget the games that came before it, right? the game is always the AFC Championship or the NFC Championship, but it causes us to forget the first round divisional playoff game or the wild card game and the great performance that a player may have had that caused that team to win, and so on. Okay, and look at the year that Peyton Manning beat the Patriots, and that was a great contest. That AFC Championship game was one for the ages. Okay, so I think there are certain teams that have no problem at changing their game over others. I was thinking about this earlier today. The Patriots are an organization that will quite literally do anything to win. So they don't go in with a standard game plan. They go in with an adjustable game plan, and they have no problem making those changes as they go. You can't say that for a lot of NFL teams. And I believe we see that difference in the win-loss record and in these consistent returns to the playoffs and the Super Bowl on the part of the Patriots. So Joseph Benz says, let's see, I got all those comments. And Kevin KD says Manning wins against the Pats in the playoffs came when he was at home, right? But he was at home, okay? Somebody says it just looks shady that that's all fans need to imply cheating, right? And Kevin KD says, and when they don't cheat, they get creamed. Superman says, will there be a Tuck Rule 2.0? Some rule you've never seen that before that helps the Pats? We shall see. Antonio Marcus says, do you think LeBron to the Warriors is just the NBA trying to get another story out there? No. Kevin KD says, in that fourth down play when Gilmore blocked the pass, they should have called pass interference. Yes, didn't happen. Black Lion Supreme says, New England Patriots 38, Eagles 26. Jamal Mills says, Pats get all the calls, can't stand the Pats. Joseph Binsman says, definitely was weird that ref walked right up to Brady and congratulated him. Yep. And John Marks called Cleve Blakeman a Walt Coleman clone. Ooh, speaking of the man that has been a bane in the earth of the Raiders for years. And Corey Brown says, maybe a Pacific Rim 2 preview during the Super Bowl, I heard. Could happen. Hashtag Cheatergate. And so we've got Manning wins against the Pats in the playoffs came when he was at home, as I pointed out. Right. Rick Rice says, that smirk was creepy. Antonio Maca says, where's Kirk Cousins going? Yeah, and his smirk did say it all, right? Jesus Reyes says the Golden State Warriors. This is a grammatically lousy comment. The Golden State Warriors is not going to sign because James wants to break up Golden State Warriors dynasty stupid team. Okay. Hey, Jesus. I disagree. But I do like your comment because I like the little stylishly cutesy things that you put in. Let me show you what I'm talking about. See that? This one. Are those aliens? What are those things? What is that, Jesus? It's hilarious. What is that? I mean, what? That's absolutely hilarious. What? What is that, dude? I don't know. What is that? And, oh, trophies. That's a lot of trophies. Rick Rice is predicting that Kirk Cousins is going to, drumroll please, the XFL. Kevin KD says, I hope the Cousins doesn't go to the Donkeys. How about the Arizona Cardinals? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? Just say. Jesus Reyes, trophies. Thank you, Jesus. Did I pronounce your name correctly, by the way? Did I just want to know? And Punkaroo says, XFL, why is that coming back? You know, that'd be cool to get Vince McMahon on to talk about that, wouldn't it? I mean, why not? Just shoot for the fences, and maybe you'll get him, right? And Joseph Benson says, I heard Broncos are going to offer him a lot of moolah. Kevin KD says, Cousins can ball, and I don't want to face him twice here. But I have a feeling that it's going to come down to, and y'all do some research and find out who looks the best in terms of cap room, right? But the Cardinals could land him. Just watch out. No news on the Athletics' new ballpark yet. Joseph Benjamin says they should have done that 2 years ago. I was told by a source that the mayor of Oakland is going to announce her new person to head up the ballpark development on the city side. And, well, it's not me, so I'm kind of like, yeah, whatever. But that news will come out anytime. It's not me. It's not Kofi Bonner. It's not Rob Bob. Maybe it could be Kofi. I mean, it should be. But seeing what they've done in the past, it pains me to be critical of my city, but I'm just so tired of failing. Oh, okay. Anyway, all right. See what you did, Jesus? Oh, by the way, am I pronouncing your name correctly? Kevin KD says, I got that one. ML Scott says, I emailed you a clip of the Pats and Jags game. Check it out when you can. I'll do that. And Antonio May says, Garoppolo back to Patriots after the season? No, man, come on. You got to be smoking some massively strong stuff, man. No way. It's not happening. Jesus Reyes says, Howard Terminal. Rick Rice says for the A's. Rick Rice says Osweiler is going to get traded in the Cousins deal for the 10th time in 3 years. Joseph Bismuth says, laugh out loud. 49ers are going to be good. Watch out. Yep. Yeah, unless somebody's got a book on them. And Jesus says, yeah, it's just Jesus. Because it's spelled, see, this is why I say that, folks, just for visual, okay? Because this is how his name is spelled. Which, normally it's Jesus, but I know it, but from memory and from experience, it's Jesus. So that's why I asked that. Okay. So there you go. So John Mark says, why can't the Oakland Mayor Libby Chef offer the Raiders the land of the Coliseum? Why didn't she? That's another show. It's 2:04 in the morning, and I'm going to go to do this. Not right here. But you get the idea, right? See you all tomorrow, 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. Yes. Come on back, folks. All right? All right. Friday. Yes, it is a Friday show. I'm going to have a Friday show. Oh, by the way, I'm also going to have my buddy at 8 o'clock on Saturday Eastern. 8 o'clock Eastern. My buddy Rick Saratella of NFLDraftBible.com. Rick Saratella of NFLDraftBible.com. Rick Saratella of NFLDraftBible.com. We're going to do our Super Bowl preview show. We're going to talk Super Bowl NFL Draft. So we're going to talk about how the teams were built, the draft choices that made them what they are, and then we're going to talk about the NFL Draft coming up, who Rick right now thinks should be the number one pick, what the teams might do. We're going to talk about the quarterbacks, the Senior Bowl impact, what he's been doing. He's traveled around the country interviewing this player and that. He's got a lot to say. He covers the NFL Draft. He's done it with me for years. 8 o'clock on Saturday, Rick Saratella right here. So you got Seton Hall tomorrow talking about Super Bowl poll on viewership. Are people going to watch? And if so, why or why not? And that's tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern and then 8 o'clock Eastern on Saturday, earlier, okay? Eastern. We're going to have Rick Saratella. So we're going to talk Super Bowl and how the teams were built, NFL Draft, and also, we'll talk about NFL Hall of Fame because we got T.O. who might go in, I hope. Randy Moss, who might go in, I hope. Ray Lewis, who might go in, I hope. It'd be a crime if Ray Lewis wasn't in there. I'm telling you. All right. Watch horror films. But better yet, watch Zenny 62 and keep America strong. All right? Joseph Binsman asks, were you ever at the draft in New York, Zenny? Do me a favor, Joseph, when you rather than my answer, rather than my answering your question, okay, do this. Do this. Type Zenny62 NFL Draft YouTube in Google, and then you'll see all the results. And then, okay, you'll see all the results. Type all that. Type that. All right? Here, let me show you what that looks like, okay? Do this. Right here. Zenny62 NFL Draft YouTube, okay? Okay, draft day cover starts. Okay, and then look at this, all right? Videos. All right? Okay? All right? All right? Cool. And then not only that, all right? This Zenny62 is the first YouTube channel ever at the NFL Draft. The first to cover it in 2006. That's right. The first, okay? So, nobody else. Zenny62, the first to cover the NFL Draft. The first, all right? In fact, if I type NFL Draft, right? And then there's 290,000 results, right? And then if I say sort by upload date, it gives me the most recent one, but it won't go backward. It's like, okay, I want it to give me like the last one, right? And so if I say upload date, it gives me the most recent one, but what I'm looking for is the last one should be the first one. And there was a way to actually do it where if I type, let me put it this way, if I type NFL Draft 2006, okay, that was, oops, you know what? What are they doing here? Yeah, Reggie Bush Draft Day. They've got all these different TV clips that people have picked off, and then there's mine. A walk around the 2006 NFL Draft before New York City. Take a look at this. This is 11 years ago. Look at this. 11 years ago, right? See that? There you go. A walk around 2006 NFL Draft New York City before round one. That's at Radio City. Okay? So, this is... Look, there are more YouTube videos at the NFL Draft on my channel than any other single person or media outlet in history. Check it out. All right. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for asking. Check out my videos. Check them out. All right. Down to Night Me. Doggone it. All right. I'm out. I'll see you all later. See ya.